She found out the truth at his funeral. Another woman showed up with a child. Hey, I'm Manuel. Some things shake you even years later. This is one of them. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just about cheating. It's about a secret a man thought he'd take to his grave. He almost did. But sometimes the grave doesn't protect you from the truth. Listen. Carmen and Esteban had been married 24 years, nearly a quarter of a century. They'd raised two sons, the older one already married, the younger one just finished university. They lived quietly, in that steady, understated way. No grand passions, but no big fights either. Esteban worked, Carmen kept the house. Retirement was just around the corner. They were starting to talk about grandchildren. Esteban was 59 when he had a heart attack. At night, at home, out of nowhere. The ambulance came, but it was too late. He died without regaining consciousness. Carmen called the boys, called the relatives, started organizing the funeral. All of it in shock, in tears, in a blur of logistics. 24 years together, and suddenly nothing. The funeral was on a Thursday. Neighbors, colleagues, old friends. Carmen stood by the coffin accepting condolences, her sons beside her. At some point, she noticed a woman she didn't recognize, about 45, dressed quietly, eyes red from crying. Next to her a boy, maybe 12 or 13. Carmen thought, maybe co-workers, maybe neighbors from another block. She had other things on her mind. But then the woman walked up to the coffin and laid flowers. The boy did too. And Carmen saw how the boy looked at Esteban, with a gaze that wasn't a stranger's. Something pierced through her. After the funeral, once most people had left and only close family remained, Carmen approached the woman, just asked, "Excuse me, how did you know Esteban?" The woman looked at her, 10 seconds of silence, then said quietly, "I'm Nuria, and this is Danny, he's Esteban's son." Carmen says she didn't collapse, didn't cry out. The ground just disappeared from under her feet. She felt it physically. She grabbed the edge of the table. "How old is he?" she asked. 13 in March, said Nuria. 13. Esteban was 59. 13 years ago, meaning when he and Carmen had already been married 11 years, when their older son was 18 and the younger was 14. Esteban had fathered another child, with another woman. Nuria hadn't come to make a scene. She came because the boy had been asking about his father. Esteban had known about his son. They'd stayed in contact. He came a few times a year, gave money, but he had no intention of living with Nuria. He always said his family was one family. Carmen asked Nuria to step into another room. They talked. Nuria explained. They'd met at a work dinner. They were together for almost 2 years. When Nuria got pregnant, Esteban said he wouldn't leave Carmen, but he wouldn't deny the child. Nuria had the baby, raised him almost entirely alone. Esteban helped financially, nothing more. The boy knew he had a father, but that the father lived somewhere else. The standard story. Carmen asked, "Did he tell you he'd never tell me?" "Yes," said Nuria. "He said he didn't want to destroy his family. While he had an illegitimate son for 13 years. Carmen's sons found out that same day. Different reactions. The older one went completely silent for days. The younger one, after his initial anger, said, "Mum, Dad's gone. What are you going to do now?" And that's the hardest question. What do you do with this truth? Danny had done nothing wrong. He was just born. He has no father. He has a mother who raised him alone. And suddenly, there, at a funeral, he comes face to face with his father's official family. Carmen thought about it for months. She was angry at Esteban, but Esteban couldn't answer anymore. She thought about cutting all contact with Nuria and Danny, but the boy legally had a right to part of the estate. In the end, she chose the human thing. Met with Nuria again. They talked calmly. Two women bound by the same betrayal, each from a different side. Nuria isn't the enemy. She was deceived too. She believed Esteban would choose her one day. He never did. Carmen agreed to include Danny in the inheritance, not because the law required it, but because the child had done nothing wrong. Her feelings about Esteban are very complicated now. 24 years together. She thought she knew him. Turns out she didn't. She once said to her older son, "You know what the worst part is? Not that he had another woman. The worst part is that he could live like that. Come home, eat dinner, watch the news, go to sleep. No signs at all." Her son said, "Mum, he just wasn't the man you thought he was." That's probably the most accurate thing anyone can say in situations like this. People often turn out to be different from who we thought, and the most painful discovery is when it happens too late to change anything. Carmen lives alone now, her son's nearby, a grandchild growing up. She says she's learned to live with this truth, not to accept it. Accepting something like this is hard, but to carry it. If he was still alive, she says, I'd have left, no question. But like this, well, I just keep going. This story tells me something simple. Some secrets people hide to the very end. They believe those secrets will go with them. But the truth is like water. It finds a crack. It always does. Until next time, subscribe. Plenty more stories where this came from.